Hello there.
General Kenobi!
A common question amongst fans today is the heritage of Reys parents. I'm going to cover what we know so far about this subject. Before I continue, please subscribe, click the bell to be notified about later videos, and give this video a like. Okay, let's dive in. Disclaimer, before I continue, there is a spoiler alert. Yes, this video does contain spoilers for those of you that haven't seen the sequel movies or any of the Star Wars movies for that matter and are just getting into the galaxy far, far away. But anyway, let's crack on. Yes, it was revealed in the Disney sequel trilogy that Rey is in fact a Palpatine. This movie, however, was somewhat vague on her parents' background and where they came from, which me personally believe this to be a pretty poor plot point, even in A New Hope, with Luke Skywalker, a character that at the time we knew nothing about, had a pretty cool backstory. Luke's backstory was brought to life by the elder Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Alec Guinness portrayal is really truly tremendous and delivers the character arc brilliantly. This really sets the motion for the character development, and for that reason explains why fans were so pumped at seeing Luke Skywalker again at the height of his power in the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. But where does that leave us with Rey? We spend a whole entire movie following this character around like a puppy, only to know nothing about her, no story arc, and it makes the character quite bland and boring. And it's not the fact that the portrayal of the leading role is a female, it's simply because the character is poorly written. So ask yourself this question: was the character of Kylo Ren more appealing to you? Most of you would say yes. This is literally at no surprise, but why, you might ask? It's simple. Kylo Ren had a backstory. We knew his heritage, we briefly witnessed his fall to the dark side, and that's what captivates an audience, when you have a character that people can really invest themselves into. I really don't understand why Disney decided to serve up such an undeveloped character as Rey. And that leads me on to her heritage for those of you that don't know. We do briefly see a flashback scene of Rey's parents where they're on the run trying to keep their daughter safe and hidden on Jakku after being hunted down by Archie, who is one of Palpatine's loyal followers. But the question is, who are they and where do they come from? Reys Father is actually a bioengineered strandcast, in other words, a clone of Darth Sidious, previously known as Sheev Palpatine, the Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Republic, originally from Naboo. The clone of Sidious was created by the Sith Eternal, a secret Sith cult on Exegol, who experimented with the Dark Lord of the Sith's genetic template in order to create the perfect vessel for the Dark Lord to resurrect. It's also important to bear in mind that Reys Father is not the only clone the Sith Eternals made, and that in fact the old and decrepit Palpatine that we see from the Rise of Skywalker is actually a clone vessel for him to stay alive, but the vessel itself was too weak for him to wield his dark side powers. In some way or another, the young Palpatine comes in contact with a human female, and then later she becomes pregnant. Palpatine himself didn't actually anticipate the relationship she had with his clone, and he let it continue simply because this daughter would continue his bloodline naturally instead of genetic cloning. Time passes and Rey is born in 15 ABY, and she immediately becomes an interest to Palpatine because it was as if a dark side miracle had occurred. Rey had inherited Palpatine's connection to the Force, whereas the clone, Reys Father, did not. Palpatine would use his granddaughter as a vessel to transfer his essence, and together they would rule as one entity known as Empress Palpatine. In a bid to protect their child, Reys' mother and father go on the run to protect her from this awful fate that she'd been burdened with. They eventually settle on Jakku, living in a rough as junk traders, hence the reference from Kylo Ren. Not long after, in search for Palpatine's granddaughter, Ochi eventually catches up with them, and Reys' mother insisted that their daughter was not on Jakku. After hearing the news that he was being deceived, Palpatine gave Ochi the order to kill his own clone and the mother to his granddaughter. Rey would stay hidden for many years until meeting her friends Finn and BB-8, and she would leave Jakku in search for the Resistance. She would eventually meet up with her grandfather for the one last time, as he encourages her to rule as one with him, just as he had always intended for her. Rey refuses to complete the ritual, and then redeemed Ben Solo turns up. Palpatine faces one small victory as he discovers a Force dyad between Ben and Rey. He uses the connection in the Force to restore his corpse-like body and regain his ability to reuse his dark side powers within his existing vessel. No need for Rey anymore, he attempts to destroy the Resistance fleet with Force lightning and kill his granddaughter, but fails when all the Jedi encourage Rey to win the fight. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more future videos. If you have any questions about this video, then leave them in the comments below and I'll either reply directly or make a video in response to them. Thanks for watching, and remember, may the Force be with you.